Thank you, Kate, and thank you to the Board of Directors and the AACVPR membership for this tremendous honor to serve as your president. Kate, before we transition roles, I just want to say a few words to you from both a personal and professional perspective. Kate, we've communicated so well this past year as we've mutually learned to interpret our unique Boston and New York City accents. I've come to warmly appreciate your unmistakable and distinct Boston dialect and the use of the no R accent. So I was ready to translate Boston to English after an imbibing experience where you may have said, after the bar, I can't remember where we parked the car, after this wicked pisser of a party, so you don't have to have a cardiac on me because we're going to bang a Yui and walk back to the hotel after we stop for some donkeys. I'm also very grateful for your keen ability to interpret my Queen's accent, which has been identified as melodic with just a hint of nasality. That is the universal description of our Queen's accent, coined by the famous actress Fran Drescher from the sitcom The Nanny. You know, as a New Yorker, I add a W to vowels. Hence, Kate, you always break out on smile when I say, let's get a cup of coffee, with my signature Queen's enunciation. You have learned to endear my elongated vowels as I've altered the pronunciation of vowels by splitting them up into multiple syllables. So, for instance, talk becomes talk. So let me continue to talk and get funny and serious. I know you're a devoted Boston Red Sox fan, and I, of course, a diehard New York Mets fan, as I grew up 5 train stops from Shea Stadium. I would be remiss not to bring up that glorious year of 1986, when we were both early in our cardiac rehab careers. In that year's memorable 7-game World Series, my beloved Mets came back from 2-game deficit to beat your cherished Red Sox in a matchup still endeared to myself and many other New Yorkers. The Mets' motto that year, coined by Tug McGraw and echoed by Gary Carter, Mookie Wilson, Ray Knight, and the community of New York Met fans, was, "You gotta believe." So, as you reflect on the last 2 years and transition to becoming AACVPR's immediate past president, I just want to say, you gotta believe. You gotta believe because it's true, that you've inspired and enabled AACVPR to make an indelible impact on the national cardiopulmonary landscape. You led AACVPR and the Million Hearts Cardiac Rehab Collaborative to always maintain this association front and center in the leadership of this initiative. You strategically positioned AACVPR in the Agency of Healthcare Research and Quality 3-year, $6 million quality improvement initiative to increase referral and enrollment to cardiac rehab. You led pivotal governmental meetings for CPR legislation and advocacy, and you kept the executive committee and the board of directors on course with the strategic plan with meticulous fiscal diligence. You have made us all winners in our chosen specialty field of cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation. Despite all those great accomplishments, of course, back in 1986, my team was the ultimate winner. So I have a present for you to remind you that you gotta believe. It's a 1986 New York Mets champion cap and a plaque of the box score from Game 7. On my next visit to Beantown, I fully expect this to be proudly on display in your office, and I'm waiting for that meeting to happen. So Kate, enjoy these gifts. With heartfelt thoughts and appreciation, Kate, we acknowledge your core values of leadership, which include, but are not limited to, honesty, integrity, passion, and commitment for cardiac rehabilitation and pulmonary rehabilitation, and endless dedication and engagement for our organization, with the courage to lead it. Sadly, you had 2 family losses these past 2 years, and you were able to balance your work and family life and never missed your obligations as AACVPR president. This was an example of the core values of personified courage and selflessness. You have inspired me with a genuine definition of girl power. Your openness, warmth, kindness, empathy, and of course your sharp sense of Boston humor have inspired and enabled this executive committee and board of directors to take on new challenges and elevate AACVPR to new heights. On a personal note, I want to express my gratitude to you for mentoring me on every President's Call, as you've made my onboarding and transition to the presidency seamless, and you have provided me the leadership foundation to hopefully be as impactful as you have been during your presidency. So thank you, Kate, from the Executive Committee, Board of Directors, and the membership for your service this past presidential term. I am not able to be in Portland with you all today because I am in Chicago, attending final sessions in the Smith-Buckland Leadership Institute program. For those of you who may not know, Smith-Buckland is our AACVPR's management partner, the folks behind the scenes helping us run our day-to-day operations so we can do our day jobs while the professional staff team serves your needs and keeps the proverbial lights on. Smith-Buckland places a priority on cultivating leadership among their client partners. So, for the past 5 months, I have been fortunate to participate in this intensive leadership learning curriculum to foster my own leadership skills so that I can better serve our organization, you, and cardiopulmonary professionals in general. It has been a tremendous experience, and I look forward to applying my personal and professional development to the benefit of AACVPR. In preparation for becoming AACVPR president, I interviewed 8 past presidents of our organization to seek inspirations and lessons from their tenure. A common theme from my conversations with these accomplished leaders is that leading is teaching. Their success comes from the ability to empower in others what they are capable of achieving and inspire a spirit of lifelong learning and growth. I am so grateful to these mentors for inspiring my personal and professional leadership style and inviting me to accept this honorable position. My main role as your AACVPR president is to steward the strategic plan that is diligently and thoughtfully developed by the AACVPR Board of Directors every 3 years. Together with the Board of Directors, our mission is to build and support cohesive committees and task force to achieve meaningful advances of value-based care in cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation services. With the support of the dedicated volunteers, we will promote the scientific discovery of evidence-based practice to demonstrate the importance of cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation services to patients, healthcare providers, and the general public. We also have ambitious goals to expand our membership to grow the AACVPR community and strengthen the prospects for the future of our organization. We are focused on mentoring the next generation of AACVPR leadership by succession planning and training, while establishing a pipeline of committed, capable leaders. Earlier this week, the Board of Directors met for a strategic planning session to develop the next iteration of AACVPR's strategic plan and to set the path for the next several years. I'm excited to share more details as those plans come together. I intend to lead AACVPR with diplomacy when confronted with conflict, to always operate with integrity and honesty, and to have the courage to do the right thing versus what is popular and convenient, to establish credibility through accountability, and to drive for commitment and results. My parents immigrated to the United States from Havana, Cuba when I was an infant, and my sister was a school-aged child. My sister and I learned from our parents that we should honor our Hispanic heritage as a validation to our ethnic identity, and that assimilation and acculturation to a new country was imperative. They also taught us that family, friends, and professional colleagues are central to our network to achieve lifelong milestones. I have and will continue to rely on my support system through this new stage of my career. Thank you to the New York State affiliate and my AACVPR mentors, including the many AACVPR past presidents whose legacy I continue. Thank you as well to my NYU Langone Health community of mentors. For over 3 decades, you have made me a better nurse, leader, teacher, and a valued cardiopulmonary clinician. Thank you to my family and friends whose core values of trust, integrity, honesty, dedication, confidence, and empathy have inspired and shaped me to be a better person. They have taught me life lessons of patience, fortitude, and kindness, and educated me on certain New York City slang. So, Board of Directors, listen up and maybe we can communicate as well as Kate and I did. Forget about it. A sped up pronunciation of forget about it, meant to mean no way or definitely not. Use, a plural form of you, sometimes takes the form of affectionately use guys. Kid, a very close friend. Ruga, big money. Schlep, oy vey, schmier. If it's Yiddish, we say it. Your religion, ethnicity, or state of origin doesn't matter. All New Yorkers are a little bit Jewish. Similarly, agita, mozzarella, prosciutto, because all New Yorkers are also a little bit Italian. Yep. While some people use as a replacement for yes in any situations, the correct usage requires some finesse. Yep is most appropriately utilized as a non-emphatic affirmation at times when you're saying yes, but you're not particularly excited or energized. OD, very excessive. Got you. When conveying the message that another is either understood or taken care of, we say, we got you. In closing, my professional mission is to improve the quality of care for others. That's why I became a nurse practitioner, and an emerging nurse researcher, practicing in the field of cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation for more than 25 years. In the same way I have cared for my patients, so I will care for our association and each of our members. Together, we will accomplish great things over the next 2 years, and I'm so excited to be leading the journey. Thank you for deeming me worthy and the invitation to lead our great organization. I am both humbled and very excited for the tremendous privilege. Finally, I just want to say from the bottom of my New York City heart, I am OD excited about next year, and I got you, AACVPR. Thank you.